Hey, I wanted to let you know that I'm going to be streaming from time to time over on the Twitch. I'll still be uploading regular episodes here on the main channel, but from time to time when I'm recording footage for upcoming episodes, I'll do it over on Twitch. You can find me at twitch.tv/Friday Night Arcade. I probably won't have a set schedule, but I'll post on Twitter when I'm about to go live each week, so keep an eye on that. I'll stream on Twitch when I'm recording footage or if I'm just playing random stuff that I enjoy, and I'll upload the bestest bits over on my side channel on YouTube at Friday Night Arcade Plays. As always, thank you for watching, and hope to see you soon over at twitch.tv/Friday Night Arcade. Kirby's Adventure on the NES is one of those games that I just couldn't force myself to get interested in when it first came out. I seem to recall magazines like Nintendo Power fawning all over this one, but I just didn't get it. This game was developed by HAL Laboratory and released in 1993. So for starters, I along with a lot of other folks had probably moved on to the 16-bit Super Nintendo by that time. Plus for me personally, I was entering my angsty teenage years right around that time, and Kirby just looked like something for little kids. I mean, just look at him. No offense to the guy, but this cute, cuddly-looking puffball just didn't look like something I'd want to invest $50 in. So here it is, nearly 30 years later, and I'm playing a Kirby game for the first time, and, well, I'm here to say I was 100% wrong about you, Kirby, and I'm sorry. So the story here is that in some far-off world called Dreamland, the locals are getting restless, quite literally, as all of a sudden their ability to dream goes away. It turns out that the evil king DDD has shown up and stolen this mystical star rod that made it possible for everyone to fall asleep and dream. He split the star rod into 7 pieces, and now it's up to you to take up the mantle as Kirby and retrieve them. At a glance, this looks like a straightforward platformer similar to Super Mario Bros., but it's way more involved than that. The controls are complex, but easy to learn and master with a little bit of practice. Kirby can run and jump like you'd expect, but he can also inhale his enemies and then take over their abilities. Check this out. Pressing the B button will cause Kirby to essentially turn into a vacuum sweeper and inhale any enemies that get too close. Then you have the option to either spit them out like a projectile by pressing B again, or if you push down on the D-pad, he'll just take over that enemy's abilities. There's a wide variety of enemies with abilities such as breathing fire, electricity, ice, spikes, a tornado, and even a sword. Yeah, all of a sudden you're playing Ninja Gaiden here. This sword is almost too powerful though. It makes killing bosses a breeze. He can do all sorts of other stuff too. They really got the most out of a simple 2-button controller. He can slide, swim, and even fly just by pressing up. While you're in the air, you can fire an air puff projectile by pressing the B button, which will cause Kirby to deflate and start to fall back to the ground, but you can just press up again to cause him to suck in more air and start flying again. This is cool and really well done, although it makes it a little too easy to just fly through the level and avoid all the enemies. There's no incentive not to do that other than racking up a high score, or if you see an enemy whose ability you just want to steal. But there are a variety of levels that sometimes go underground or through narrow pathways, so you can't just do that all the time. Having all of these separate controls built into one character on a controller with just 2 buttons could have been a total disaster, but Kirby's Adventure gets the play control down as perfect as you could want. With a little practice, you'll get the hang of all these different abilities, and it's all pretty seamless. The only thing that's a little awkward is instead of pressing B to run like you would in, say, Super Mario Bros., you just have to double tap the D-pad in the direction that you're headed. Honestly though, that's not that big of a deal and I got used to it pretty quickly. Really, the biggest standouts here are the play control like I just mentioned, and also the animations. Whether it's Kirby puffing himself up or the enemy attack animations, this all looks really neat and it's incredible to see it running on NES hardware. It also has a built-in save feature with up to 3 save slots, and it just auto-saves whenever you complete a level. There are 7 levels in total, each broken up into smaller acts, and you also get some mini games along the way. And there are plenty of bonus stages to unlock, so there's reason to keep playing even after you beat the game. And have I mentioned the soundtrack yet? It's easily one of the best on the console. While Kirby's Adventure on NES is really good, I do have to pick apart a few things. It's not a deal breaker, but it does suffer from a bit of that patented NES slowdown when there's just too many things happening on screen at once. Totally not a deal breaker, but it's just mostly a testament to how ambitious HAL Laboratory got with this game on 8-bit hardware. There's just a lot going on at any given time, and you wouldn't think it at a glance, but Kirby's Adventure is really pushing the old NES about as hard as it can go, and at times it shows. Also, I'm not crazy about the color palette. The colors are somewhat drab. Sometimes it's as if you're looking at a Game Boy game plugged in through the Super Game Boy on an SNES, with its simple 4-color palette set to beige. I think it's just because there's so much going on under the hood with this game and all of the oversized sprites and character animations that they had to save space somewhere. But those are minor complaints, really. Kirby's Adventure is absolutely worth your time if you're a fan of 8-bit platformers, and there's more than enough variety in Kirby's special abilities to make this its own thing. It's totally not a Super Mario Bros. Clone like a lot of platformers that made their way onto the NES. So I'll eat crow. Kirby's Adventure on the NES is really good. And I'm sorry I missed out on it for all these years. What did you think of this one? Did you play Kirby's Adventure or any of the other Kirby games? If so, which ones are your favorites? As always, thank you for watching. Please don't text and drive, and I'll see you next time on Friday Night Arcade.